Good morning, Mr. Capwell.
Doctor.
Miss Capwell.
Hi. I would like to see my sister.
Kelly's with your father's lawyer. She's preparing for the hearing. I'll have her brought out in a moment. Mr. Capwell, I'm glad to see that you've resigned yourself to this. Having Kelly declared not competent to stand trial was the wisest decision.
Well, Doc, it was one of the most difficult decisions I've ever had to make in my life. But I know I have to protect my daughter. And I have been told that defending her would be difficult if it came to trial.
I can assure you she'll be in good hands. I'm personally going to supervise her treatment. I'll see if I can bring her out now.
Thank you. Eden, for what I'm about to do to her, you know she may never forgive me.
Don't say that.
If only I had seen this coming. If only I'd been able to do something.
Daddy, you can't blame yourself. There's no way in the world you could have known something like this would have happened.
There's a lot I could have understood sooner. Not just about Kelly. About you and Kirk.
Good morning.
Hi.
I take it the hearing hasn't begun yet?
No, it hasn't. And I'd appreciate your escorting your young friend out of here before it does.
CC, it's not necessary to have
Nick,
just
I have
any-
heard from Dr. Rawlings that this young man abused my daughter's trust by involving himself in her life and her problems without telling her he was a doctor.
That's not what happened. I was just trying to be your friend.
CC, he helped her. Kelly knows that. He is one of the few people she really trusts right now.
All the same, he is forbidden to see Kelly, so I want him out.
Mr. Capwell, what you don't seem to understand is that when her friends and family didn't realize the depths of her problems, I was there for her. You can damn me if you want to, but I know that I tried to give Kelly the help she needed in the best way that I knew how.
Justin, I'm so glad you're here. You promised to stay with me this time?
Hey.
Just having a wonderful treat. I don't think it's over yet. I have to go.
No, not yet. No.
I have a pre-trial meeting with the DA and the judge.
Julia, I'm thinking about leaving Santa Barbara. It depends on you.
Hey, you waiting for me?
No, I'm here to see Kirk if he's allowed to have visitors.
What business do you have with Kirk?
I'd like to ask him some things. It's got nothing to do with the case.
I'm here to see Kirk, too.
Hey,
Cruz. Hey, Fred, what are you doing?
well, I came here with the Capwells. Look at Eden's over in the other wing visiting my sister, and she's gonna be back over here making a deposition pretty soon. Have you seen Julian around here?
No, I haven't. Oh, excuse me, I have to go in here now.
What about bail?
Oh, no, bail? No. We're gonna ask the judge to forget about bail. And, no plea bargaining. We have your client dead to rights.
I wouldn't jump to any conclusions. We're going to prove there were mitigating circumstances. We're entering a plea of not guilty.
Yes, 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 yes. Come on, what is it?
Hello.
Augusta.
I've come to improve your standard of living. Huh? And I see just the nick of time. Didn't I tell you, Carlotta? This place should be condemned.
Well, I appreciate your gesture, Augusta, but really...
I know how you hate nasty rumors, but this buzz around my bridge club that I'm living high on the hog on my divorce settlement while my husband, my ex-husband, is scraping by like a pig. So I persuaded Carlotta that she should come down here and put some order into your lowly life.
Oh, well, Augusta, that really isn't this.
Mr. Lockridge.
Oh, you should be ashamed, shouldn't he?
I'm not. I'm just fine. And since when have you ever paid attention to a bunch of gossip?
Since I went from gossiper to gossipy, now I want you to get shaved and dressed and out of here so she can do her work.
Augusta, really, this is
No,
quite
I'm going to
unnecessary.
take you out to breakfast in a very public place so we can look very civilized together.
Oh, wait a minute. You think that's going to quell the rumors?
That's right.
Oh. All right, if I agree to do that, will you agree to come back here with me afterwards?
We'll talk about that later. Carlotta, could you come back here, please?
Yes?
When you finished your work, could you take Mr. Lockridge's clothes down to the cleaners in the laundry? He's getting so laid back in his single mode, I think he needs a push in the right direction.
Okay. Okay. You win.
What do you mean you're leaving?
I mean, I'm ready to go. Let's face it, there's no guarantee here. If I'm convicted, I'm gonna go to prison the rest of my life.
You can't walk out even if you want to. They'll find you no matter where you go, David. I have faith in you. And I believe that you are innocent. Don't you think it's about time that you started to have a little bit of faith in me?
I do. I'm just scared. I know you're gonna do your best for me.
I hope you do know that.
What about us?
What do you mean?
Do you feel uneasy about what happened last night? You do? Well, what is it? Do you feel guilty or...
It really is a matter of what I feel. I'm your attorney. It is my responsibility to keep a professional distance between the two of us.
I don't give a damn about that.
I have to. You know, the ethical thing for me to do right now would be to step aside and let someone else be assigned your case.
Oh, no, Julia, I swear, if you do that, I will leave the country. I don't care what the consequences are.
Look, I can't walk out on the case now, even if I want to. It's too close. And not without seriously hurting your chances, and I don't want to do that. But I don't think that you and I should be together like this. Not until you're no longer my client.
No, Julia, please don't say that. I love you. If I'm convicted, I may never be with you again. We've got to use the time we have. There may not be much more.
I thought you'd have better sense than to show up here more. I told you to stay away from her.
Kelly, I've got to go now. You'll be fine. I know you will.
Come on, Moore, let's go.
Kelly, honey, brought you a visitor.
Hi, Kelly. You all right? It must be awful going through all this, but I know what you're feeling. We're all here for you. I love you. Yeah? Why am I here?
Do I have to have your medical license revoked to make you leave my patient alone?
What are you giving her? She's over-medicated.
I guess I do.
Don't worry about anything. Daddy and I were going to make sure that nothing bad happens to you.
I think we should all be getting into the hearing now.
Sorry. You ready, Annie? Come on.
Doctor, who was that man who was here before?
A resident.
I mean his name.
Dr. Moore, why?
Well, Kelly seemed to trust him. I just wondered why it is you didn't want him to see her.
Because he's already compromised your sister's recovery.
I don't understand.
Eden, Kelly was feeling and acting a lot more healthy when Justin was treating her.
Well, maybe...
Miss Capwell, the truth is, Dr. Moore's involvement in your sister's treatment would only be harmful to her. Now, shall we go into the judge's chambers?
Are you in with the judge yet?
Yeah.
How was she? With you?
Justin, she is so remote. At least before she knew who I was.
Well, he's going about this all wrong. He's medicating her like she's got some chronic mental illness. I mean, this isn't going to help her.
I just can't stand it like this, Justin.
I know. Look, you go into the hearing. We're not going to give up on her yet.
You're really not considering entering a plea of not guilty, are you? With all the evidence we've got?
Evidence?
Martin, you must be out of your mind.
What evidence? The tape made by Gina Capwell violates my client's rights. You can't use it in court. You can't even mention it in court.
Martin! We don't need the tapes. We have Aiden Cranston. Who's here? They're willing to testify, as well as Gina Capwell. That is 3 eyewitnesses that have him dead to rights. This poor guy doesn't have a chance. You know, not a prayer. I think we both know, don't we, that the only way to get leniency is to enter a plea of guilty.
Look, you don't have to instruct me in what's best for my client. I am fairly well equipped to judge the pros and the cons.
Excuse me, Martin. I appreciate the effort, but I have decided to change my plea to guilty.
Well, at least one of you had your head screwed on right. Martin, I really can't believe you're going to enter a plea of not guilty. Oh, come on.
Actually, he never wanted to. He wanted me to plead guilty all along. I was the one who wasn't reconciled to that, but now I've changed my mind.
Well, that is a very sensible change in attitude, Mr. Cranston.
I guess I just realized that I have to take responsibility for what I've done.
Now, if we're moving toward a guilty plea, how many other charges are we going to have to face?
Let's discuss this in my office. I have a few phone calls I want to make.
All right.
Kirk, I'm glad to see you decide to cooperate.
Well, I fully intend to cooperate, Cruz. In fact, I'm going to be the most cooperative prisoner the system has ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's the way to go, don't you, Cruz? You know, my father, he's got a lot of power in this area. I have no doubt he can set me up in some country club prison somewhere. And I intend to be the perfect candidate for early parole. In fact, I would guess that with time off for good behavior, I'll be around in no time.
Where, Kirk? Surely not here.
Definitely here. I want to thank you personally, Cruz, for showing me the error of my ways.
You spoke to Julia yesterday. Did she say anything about going out of town?
No, she didn't.
Well, that's where she was last night.
I didn't know.
Worried about her.
Yeah? About what are you worried about?
I think she's involved with that man.
Who?
Her new client.
Oh, David Lauren. Well, even if she is, what are you worried about?
What do you mean? Looked like a lady killer to me. He's just not her type.
I wouldn't know. She's been behaving a little oddly towards me lately. Would you happen to know why?
No.
Maybe she just doesn't think that I'm your type.
Oh, come on.
What is your type lately?
Well, I haven't really given it much thought lately. Sort of playing it by ear.
Playing it by ear this time?
Well, it didn't work by elbow last time, did it?
I miss you, Augusta. What do you say I try starting at the beginning and courting you again?
Oh, no, please. No more skywriting.
No, this time it'd be a hot air balloon. You remember the first poem I ever wrote for you?
No, it was too long ago.
Stars have eyes like thine, else how could they so shine?
You remembered. Well, forget it. You're broke and homeless.
Oh. Well, I know poems don't buy any furs and jewelry. I could ask you to come and stay on the boat, Augusta. It's about all I have left in the way of property.
If you sold the boat, you could get a small, simple piece of land somewhere. Mind you, I'm not suggesting anything so drastic as us living together again.
But you're not dismissing the idea entirely.
Lionel, aside from your resiliency, you have a wildly optimistic imagination. We're just having an idle chat over some eggs Benedict, and I intend to finish mine before they get cold.
See, I told you were working miracles here.
Why? Because I got you out of bed?
No, because you have made me feel love again. Look, I'm not going to argue with your decision to put some distance between us. Doesn't mean I'm going to like it.
We gotta go.
Right. I'll be ready in a minute.
Well, I've been waiting to see you all morning.
Well, Gina, I'm sorry. I just had this little matter of a bail hearing to take care of.
So, how'd it go, Kirk?
I'm sure you'll be thrilled to pieces to know that I was denied bail. In fact, they could come in here and drag me out any minute, so if you've come here to express your sympathies, I suggest you do it quickly.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear about all that. But actually, the reason I'm here is I want to know if you've told anyone how much Haley knows.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, I figured that one would come up pretty soon. In fact, I half expected a visit from Haley today. You know, she must realize that all it would take would be just a little word from me to have her kicked out of the Capwell house in about a second flat. In fact, if I put my mind to it, I believe I could have her charged with something.
You wouldn't.
No, you're right. I wouldn't. Not right now, anyway. I think that's one card I'm going to keep up my sleeve for a while. So how does Haley feel about you these days? You know, now that you found out that you're the one that pulled the plug on Cece, I'm sure she's not too fond of her Aunt Gina anymore, huh? In fact, like everyone else, I would guess she doesn't even want to see you.
She'll come around.
Not if she's smart, she won't. You must be very lonely now, Gina. You know where I'm going? I'm going to meet people and I'm going to have 3 meals a day, but you're going to stay here and you're going to be lonely. And you're going to beg for scraps. And you're not going to have Brandon. And you're not going to have any money. In fact, I would bet that Cece's going to see to it. I would bet that Cece's going to see to it that you're not even going to be able to get a job here in Santa Barbara working on cesspools.
Eden said she'd help me.
Eden? Oh, that's wonderful. Eden's gonna help you. Well, yeah, that's great. She helped me. Maybe she'll help you in the same way. How's that, huh? You know, I'm really gonna miss you, Gina. And I think you're gonna miss me, too. But don't worry about it, because I'm not gonna be gone that long. And when I come back, your door will be the first one I knock on. I promise you that.
Mitigating circumstances rather than Santana Andrade.
You remember me?
High school wasn't that long ago. Listen, I have the chance to congratulate you on your marriage to this bum. He's a very lucky man.
It's nice seeing you again.
Same to you.
Well, I guess I should be congratulating you on becoming the new district attorney.
Well, thank you. We better stop doing this. It was just a matter of being in the right place at the right time, and Well, things are popping, so I'll be seeing you.
Yes.
Both.
Goodbye.
So, have you seen Kirk yet?
No, Gina's in there with him right now. It just drives me crazy knowing that she isn't going to go to prison along with Kirk.
You know, there wasn't much I could have done about it. Since Mr. C didn't want to prosecute her and would not have testified against her, nor would Eden, there wouldn't have been much of a case.
You could have tried to talk some sense into CC.
Yes, I suppose I could have.
Hello, Santana. Cruz?
How did Kelly's hearing go?
The judge declared her unfit to stand trial. She's in a bad way.
Come, please. That's okay, Dan. Let her go in.
Hello, Eden.
And then
No, Gina.
some things may not be as dire as they seem. I'm gonna keep searching for that gun that I believe Dylan had, and if we find it, it'll form the heart of a case that Kelly acted in self-defense.
Poor Kelly, you know, she's so confused. She hardly even cares where they're taking her. And Daddy, I mean, I always thought of him as invincible or something, but this is really killing him. Like he's finally come up against something he can't defeat. I know he'd give anything in the world to prove she's innocent.
Nick, I've got an idea. Now, look, Rawlings is going to be tied up with commitment papers for a while, all right? So all we have to do is sneak into the hospital as visitors before he arrives with Kelly.
I'm with you. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot for coming by, Santana. It was a wonderful surprise. No, actually, you know, it wasn't a surprise at all. I knew you would be here today.
And why's that?
Because Eden and Cruz are here together, Santana. And with me out of their way, that's one less obstacle that they have to deal with. So you have to keep your eye on them all the time, isn't that right?
Obviously, my coming here was a mistake.
Don't you want to know what I know? Isn't that why you came here? To find out.
I'm not so sure why I'm here.
You know, you are really an attractive woman, Santana. In fact, there was a time there when I thought you and I might give each other a little bit of comfort. A little bit of private revenge, you know?
That never would have happened, Kirk.
Well, don't you wonder, Santana, what it is that Eden has that you don't have? That is constantly driving your husband away from you? I would think you'd be asking yourself that question every day, Santana. Why is he sleeping with her and not with me?
They're not having an affair.
No?
No. Cruz has feelings for her, but there's no affair. He told me since we've been married, nothing's been happening between them.
And you believe that?
That's right.
Yeah, well, I guess you would.
That's right, I would.
Well, how would you like some proof? Huh? What if I were to show you something that would change your mind?
What would you want to show me?
Do you remember running into me in front of Cruz's place that day? I think it was the first time I told you I suspected Eden and Cruz.
Yes. Yes, Cruz was away. It was the day before his house was broken into.
No, actually, it was exactly the day his house was broken into.
You mean it was you?
Really, what difference does it make?
What kind of man are you?
I would think you'd be more interested in knowing what kind of a man your husband is. He has something, Santana, that he keeps locked away for some future date. And I know what that is. Don't you want to know, too?
What are you talking about? Something of Eden's?
Well, something that belongs to both of them. And I took it. And I hid it in the Capwell house. And I'm perfectly willing to tell you exactly where it is.
Why?
I guess it's passing the torch somehow. It's unfinished business, Santana. I thought you might want to finish it for me. Are you at all interested?
They called me Ishmael.
Yes.
I can't come in.
Why, certainly.
I have a job for you.
Oh, really? Good. Well, this is terrific. Only I think you forgot something. You know, like, hi, Pearl, how are you? Oh, me? I'm fine. And what about you, Julia? And by the way, where'd you disappear to over the last couple of days, huh?
It's not important.
Is it? No.
No. No, what's important now is that the trial is coming up momentarily, and I need you to listen to me. I hate myself for asking you to do this, and I know that my sister's going to hate me for it, too, but we have got to move on this. All right. I dropped someone off at the Hotel Capwell, and I happened to see Augusta and Lionel eating at the Orient Express. This is a perfect time for you to sneak onto Lionel's boat and see if you can find anything other than the date book that could tie Lionel to Madeline or the case.
What's this? A present for being such a sweet guy?
I want you to take pictures, Pearl. And I'll subpoena them when I need them.
You know, I figured it was going to come around to this, but I wasn't sure that you were willing to pin the suspicion on your brother-in-law. You want to go ahead with this?
I have to defend David. It's my job, and I have a sworn responsibility.
And now, wait a second. You got any reservations?
No, I'm...
Huh?
Of course I do. I have reservations about everything that I'm doing right now. Would you please just do this for me?
Are you sure?
I'm going to the Orient Express. I will ring you twice on Lionel's yacht if I see him leaving. Okay?
Right. Yeah. Oh, and Julie,
The film is already in the camera, Pearl. Please just do it.
I left my visitor's pass upstairs, and I was here a little while ago. You remember me, don't you?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Well, we're in.
How do we find out what floor they put Kelly on?
I think I know where they'll keep her.
Where?
This way. In the ward for the criminally insane.
Here we are. Here's a schedule of our daily events.
Daily events?
Our patients are kept quite busy. We encourage them to participate in lots of activities.
Nurse, my daughter's an artist. Maybe you have
Of
something...
course, we have plenty of paper and paints.
Thank you. Honey, come here. It may not be so bad after all, huh?
Where's everyone?
Where's who, honey?
Where's everyone gone? Where's Joe?
Oh, baby, look. You're gonna have to stay here by yourself. For a while, not for long. But then I'm gonna come and take you home very soon, and you're gonna see everybody
Daddy,
all over again.
I don't want to stay here.
I know you don't, honey. I know that. But you see, you have to right now because...
Well, here we are. Mr. Capwell, I think it would be best if you left us now so we can begin Kelly's orientation.
Honey, I have to go now.
No. Daddy, don't take me with you.
Honey, please. I've
No.
got to say...
No, Daddy, don't go. Please don't go. No.
Is there something you... Mr. Capwell, please just leave now. Please.
Daddy, please.
Nurse, get the injection. It's on a chart. And you'd better bring the restraints. We don't want her hurting herself at the very first hour. Kelly. Your father's gonna come visit you again, and you're gonna make lots of new friends here. You'll find that this place isn't so bad after all. Really.
What are you doing here? Eden said it would be all right for me to come by.
Oh, did she? And what are you after here?
I don't know what you're being so hostile about, Santana. You owe me, I think.
Oh, you?
That's right. After all, I saved your precious husband's life. You should be grateful to me for that. He certainly is.
Don't you even fantasize for a minute that he or Ian are going to get Brandon back for you, or even allow you to be in the same room with my son. Don't you hope for that at all. Because I'm prepared to do anything. I'll tell Brandon that you tried to kill Cece. I'll even tell him that you're not his real mother. Maybe it's about time that he learned the truth.
No, Santana, I'm not challenging you. I don't think Brandon needs to know any of that.
You make the slightest effort to get Brandon back, and I will.
Don't worry, I'm not even going to try. I know there's no point in it. I mean, after all, Cece has the final word. He has legal custody of Brandon, and he hates me. I'm not a fool. I know what I've lost.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Gina. Just make sure you mean it.
I do. Look, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I was just wandering around, and I had no place else left to go.
Forever Eden. Cruz.
And at that point, I guess I had no choice but to give in and to go peaceably with the officers that apprehended me.
Is that it? Is that the entire statement you wish to make at this time?
What other statement did you have in mind, Inspector Castillo?
Come in.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you'd be through.
That's okay. Would you leave us alone in here, please, Danny?
So, Cruz, are we through?
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot more you could tell me, Kirk. But I guess I'm going to have to let a lot of it go to prison with you.
You have such a vivid imagination.
Oh, indeed I do. For instance, I keep thinking about that accidental explosion at the Capwell cabin, the one that almost killed Mark McCormick. It occurs to me it might have been intended for someone else. Your wife, perhaps. Or your wife and myself.
Have you checked your locker at the bus station lately, Cruz? Eden, you know, I may have concealed some evidence about what Gina did to Cece, but your knight in shining armor here, he did the same thing. He hid the dress that Gina wore that night and the scrap of it that was found in Cece's room. You know, he thought it was yours. I guess he was doing it to try and protect you, but the fact is that if he had come forward with that piece of evidence, he would have found out that the dress did not fit. It was a copy, Cruz, and it would have led you straight to Gina.
He's right, you know. Maybe all of this could have been ended a long time ago.
I know why you did it.
Please. Could you two lovebirds say your sweet nothing somewhere else? Isn't it enough that you're sending me off to prison where I won't be in the way?
Why don't you save the jealous husband routine, pal? This whole sordid mess came down because you saw a chance to rip off somebody who was rich and beautiful. That's the only reason. So don't talk about your broken heart, Kirk. That's gonna come later, pal, believe me. When it finally dawns on you that you could have made a life with this incredible woman. But you blew it. You done with this guy?
Yeah.
And though I know we decided against it before, I think we've kept our meeting secret long enough. I have waited for your sake and the sake of your family. But I can't wait any longer. I don't want us to go on like this. I want the world to know whether you're ready to deal with it or not. Madeline. Smile for Daddy.
You think?
Well, Carlotta must be slipping. All the drawers are open. Very
Don't
strange.
worry about that. Now, just come back here. I want to thank you for this morning. Why don't we make a day of it?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I have a very important appointment.
That is very disappointing. Why don't I walk you to your car?
All right.
All right?
All right. Okay. I know.
Julia, what happened to you this morning? Why didn't you wait for me?
I was in a hurry. You didn't happen to see Lionel and Augusta leaving, did you?
No, why did you leave without saying goodbye?
You and I don't have any commitments to each other. I certainly don't owe you an explanation, and you don't owe me one.
What's going on with you? Did I make you angry? How?
Hello? Is this Miss Wainwright's office? Yeah, I'll hold. Hello, yes. Can you have Miss Wainwright call Pearl as soon as she returns? Pearl, as in Bailey. Yeah, it's urgent. She has a number. Okay, thanks.
Mr. Michael Baldwin Bradford III. What were you doing on my boat this morning? And what, pray tell, are you doing with my date?
That ought to calm her down. I'll come back later to check on the patient.
There. That's better, isn't it? Now, lunch will be served soon, and after that, we're going to have a leaderless group session I know you'll enjoy. Later, we're going to have a birthday celebration for one of the patients. Cake and everything. And tonight we have a movie.
I don't know. I guess this isn't the right floor.
I'm sure this would be it.
Can I see your passes?
I could have sworn I had it right in this pocket.
Hey, nice try, buddy. But I've seen this routine 100 times before. Now, what floor do you belong on? And who's your doctor?
I'd just like to play one of my home tapes on this VCR you were showing me. I'll only be a minute.
You are the most beautiful woman I've ever met. And I am going to dedicate my life to making you happy. You lied to me! I can kill you for lying to me! Stay away from me! All I wanted to do was love you. And you tricked me, but never again. Never again! Please don't come in! He has a gun! Oh, I'm glad he's here. It's about time, huh? First, come here.
It wasn't self-defense. I bet Cece would give anything to know that.
Well, Kurt, this is the last time you and I will be face to face. And I just wanted to...
Yeah, well, I bet you're pretty happy about that, aren't you, Eden? Well, that's fine. Because you know what? I have a lot of things that I'm happy about, too. For instance, I'm very secure in the knowledge that you and Cruz will never be together. He's married, Eden. It's too late. I honestly don't believe that he's gonna dump Santana for you, as much as he might like to do that.
You know, I suppose I should hate you. But in a way, I feel like I deserve the unhappiness that you've given me. Because I've married you, and I never loved you. I married you because I hated myself. Our marriage, Kirk, was one long nightmare from the beginning.
Well, that's fine. Because that's exactly what it was for me. You never let me touch you, Eden. Not really. You never even gave me a chance!
You got more of a chance than our unborn child ever got.
Didn't know. Can't you understand that? If I had, things would have been different. I would have known that you would never leave me, Eden.
You're wrong. Because when I found out I was pregnant with your child, I begged Cruz to take me back. And he wouldn't. I decided to divorce you long before the boathouse.
He never did take you back, huh? Well, you want to know something, Eden? He's never going to. You want to know why? Because his marriage is forever. And that's a long time.
Get him out of here, Danny.
I'll see you around.